Hi cozy friends, and welcome back to another cozy knitting vlog. My name is Morgan, and on this channel I like to unravel with my cozy hobbies, mostly reading and knitting. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, I am so glad you are here. In this video we're going to be working on some of my winter knitting. This is my 10th month being in cold weather. For context, we moved abroad from the United States at the end of winter there and came to the beginning of fall here in Australia. So we have just gone from one cold season to the next. And I do not say this lightly, but we really have been struggling with seasonal depression and just like trying to get through in any way we can. But my knitting mojo has been very alive and well. Honestly, knitting has been the thing that has gotten me through this huge move across the globe. The chaos and the stress of it, throughout all of it, I just would focus on my knitting when I got overwhelmed, and it has been such a space of calm for me. And it's also been a way to rest my body while still feeling productive, which is really important as someone who struggles with like multiple forms of chronic pain, especially during colder weather. And with July being the peak of winter, I really want to just hunker down and work on my winter knitting, trying to tie up some of the loose ends on finishing some of those projects. And hopefully by the time I finish some of them, there will be hope of a new season. For a quick glimpse at my knitting journey, I started knitting towards the end of 2022. I am a crocheter turned knitter, so I'm quite adventurous with my knitting. I'm not afraid to pick up a cable work sweater garment. I actually have a video talking about everything I made in my first year of knitting, so I'll have that linked up above. So let's talk about my current projects and my plans for my winter knitting. I am this close to finishing my August sweater. I am on the ribbing of the second sleeve, and all I have left after that is the collar. This is going to be my first completed sweater. I have finished cardigans in the past, but I have never completed a knit sweater. I am so excited for this oversized, cozy cable raglan sweater. So I just cannot wait to get to wear it. The sleeves and the body ribbing are done in twisted rib, which creates a nice like tight rib, but I don't want a tight neck in 100% wool. So I do think I'm going to be doing that one in normal rib. And I am working this up in Maker's Cozy Wool in the color Brown Marl. But I'm definitely going to be finishing that project this week. Like, I am so close I can taste it. Another huge project I've been whipping up is my book club cardigan for the knit along. I am so happy with how beautifully this is coming along, but I'm starting to get stressed about yarn chicken again. I shared in my last video that I actually got another skein of the yarn to make sure I had enough, but I don't think I got enough. I think that this project a little bit underestimates how much you need for it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it because I can't order more. I ordered it from the United States. I spent $120 so that I could qualify for free shipping. I'm not gonna do that again. So we'll see what I decide for that once I finish the second sleeve. And I am knitting it in Wool of the Andes by Knit Picks in the color Mink Heather. But other than that, this knit has been such a breeze. I've never had so much fun working on a project. Another winter knit that I have started but not yet finished is the Woodfolk Beanie by The Petite Knitter. It is a beautiful stranded colorwork beanie with this nice pine tree design on it, and I'm obsessed with the colors I'm using for it. It's a nice lavender, but I just really struggle to hold two yarns for stranded colorwork, so I haven't had the mojo to work on it. But that's another one I hope to finish by the end of winter. And I think the main reason I have so many projects on the go to work on is because I really am just going wherever my knitting mojo takes me. This is my creative outlet. This is what makes me feel so much purpose when I am struggling or just feeling down and feeling like we can't go outside because it's gray almost every day. I know there's sun shining in every now and then in this clip, but it has been gray almost every day this week. Another winter whip that I have semi-hibernated is my Arctic Light sweater by Kutova Kika. I am knitting this sweater in the Lion Brand collaborative yarn with Schitt's Creek, and I'll put the colorway on the screen. It is a beautiful baby pink sweater with beautiful cable work, and I am so excited about it, but I put it on hold once I finished the body because we were going to be moving here and I didn't want to have it on the needles in my bag. But I just haven't gotten the mojo to pick up for the sleeves, which I really want to. I'd love to finish it by the end of this winter here. I don't think I've said it yet, but winter kind of ends here come September. So I really have this month and next month to get through and knit, and then we will see spring. We will get to explore Australia. We will have sunshine and we will be going to the park and all those fun things. But those are all my winter knitting plans. I'm so excited to definitely finish my August sweater this week, work on the second sleeve of my book club cardigan. Those are the main plans for this week. I hope you enjoy this knitting vlog and let me know what you are working on this week. I'm sure it is something summery if you are not in the southern hemisphere, but I would love to hear about it and live vicariously through your summer knitting. Hi friends, I am currently knitting on my second sleeve of my book club cardigan. I thought now would be a good time to sit and knit and chat together about some of the adventures we have had in the past 10 months of being in cold weather, because we have had quite the year. Mid last September, we flew from Virginia to Idaho to see some of our friends who had just moved there. They're in northern Idaho around the Coeur d'Alene area, and it was so beautiful. We were actually thinking about moving there. We were touring apartments and stuff because my husband was going to be getting out of the military last December, which he did, and we were trying to figure out where we were going to be going. At the time, he was planning to get a remote job, and the map was really wide open for us. We were going to find a place that we wanted to live and move out west, and we thought what better place to go than somewhere our friends have already gone, so that we would already have a bit of a community. So that was our plan, but once my husband found a job out here in Australia, that's where we ended up. But we really enjoyed our trip up to Coeur d'Alene and spending time with them. We actually drove into Montana as well. Our friend's family has a lake house, so they took us out there to check it out. It was so beautiful. We spent the night there and had just such a good time staying up into the middle of the night hours to chat and catch up because we missed them so dearly. And we're hoping that soon they can come visit us out here as well. That would be so wonderful. But once we flew home back to Virginia, we actually only had a few days before we were loading up in our van that we had rented to be able. We rented a converted van from someone that my husband used to work with, and it was so cool to get to travel in. Honestly, that's been a dream of ours for a long time, and we really do think that one day we'll have our own converted van to be able to travel around the US in. We really have a goal of seeing all the US national parks. It's mainly my husband's goal, but obviously I'll be along for the ride. And it was just such a unique way to get to travel, especially when you have a toddler. We obviously were in a van that had extra bonus seats so that we could have his car seat in it, but being able to stop whenever he cried so that we could change his diaper on a proper bed, lay out a changing mat and stuff, so that we didn't have to go into gross bathrooms and things like that with a toddler. It was just such an ideal way to travel. We were going to be driving from Virginia up the East Coast to Acadia National Park, and that was just an incredible place. It was heaven on earth. I couldn't have imagined the views we would see, even with all the fog that was there when we got to Acadia. There was so much fog, but it was still just incredible views. The vibes were so immaculate. If you know me, I love siren folklore, and I was just imagining sirens just sitting on the beautiful coastal rocks. It was an incredible trip. I'm so glad we got to do it. We stopped in Connecticut to see one of my friends. She is a photographer. I will make sure to have her linked down below, her Instagram. She let us park outside of her place and load up with water and everything we needed, which was so nice. It was great to meet her. And while we were in Connecticut, we also got to see Gilmore Girls Town. Almost everything was closed when we got there, so we didn't get to see everything. I did step into the bookstore as it was closing, so I grabbed a book, checked out, but I didn't get to, explore that much. But we went and got froyo, and I'll have some pictures to put up of our time in Stars Hollow. Continuing up the East Coast, we got to a state park in New Hampshire. That was such a nice time. We had a nice walk in nature with our wagon, toting our son around, and it was just such a peaceful morning. We were able to make coffee in the van, which is so funny. So we really weren't without anything. We even had a shower in there, but it was not a fun experience because you're like either blasting hot water or cold water. There was no in between. But I feel so fortunate to have gotten to experience that way of travel. As someone with anxiety, I think that traveling can be so daunting because I don't want to be without my resources. Like, I want to be able to have access to food and a bathroom at all times. So it was really relieving for that. But during our trip up the East Coast, my husband knows better than I do, but I think we saw 16 states during that time, including also being in Washington, Idaho, and Montana shortly before. So we saw a lot of states in that last half of the year. We got to see Vermont. We drove through Boston. We also drove along the coasts of Rhode Island, and we walked the shores, and I picked up some sea glass and some shells. And I really wish I had been a vlogger during this trip because it would have been so special to document. So we got back to Virginia, and my sister was coming to visit so that we could go watch the Eras movie together and spend some time together because we didn't know where I was going to be moving and how far apart we'd be. Little did we know it would be even further than we could have imagined, but we got to see the movie together, which was so special because we had dreamed of getting to go to this tour together. I tried to get tickets. I waited in the queue for 8 hours, and by the time I got in, there were no tickets available. So we didn't get to go to the Eras tour, but we did get to see the movie together, which was nice. And then after my sister left, we drove up to Pittsburgh to see his brother. Again, we're trying to hit all the stops because we want to make sure we see everyone before moving out west. We thought we were going to be in Western United States. Turns out we are on the other side of the globe. So thankfully we did get to see everyone. And then for Christmas, we went to Kentucky to see his other brother. So we just did so much traveling before leaving. And then come January, we were trying to finalize the paperwork on our house sale, and our buyers backed out. So we just went into a feverish mode of getting our house ready to go on the market. And my sister came to see me again because at this time we knew we were going to be moving to Australia. We actually got COVID during that time. So our winter has just been hectic, one thing after another, and stress. So much stress, but there's just been so much change for us this year and in this past 10 months. So I feel like it's going to be very transformative to enter spring and finally have this fresh slate. I think that's something we both really need. am very pleased to announce I have finished my August sweater. I finally put the collar on. I am so excited. I did try it on unblocked, and we were actually invited to a little crafty night dinner with some neighbors last night. So before we went to dinner, I threw it in the tub, got it blocked, and laid it out. But it is winter here, so it's gonna take some time to block and to dry. I can't wait to show it off on here. I can't wait to show you guys how it looks completed. And like I said, we went to a crafty night dinner, which was absolutely so much fun. Our neighbors saw my cry for help about being exhausted with the boring monotony of winter. They invited us over for a roast, and I knitted with his wife and got to know her while my husband talked about guitar and politics with the husband. You would be amazed at how much Australians love to talk about American politics. We thought we could escape it. No. My husband loves talking about politics though, so it was not an issue whatsoever. And I'm really glad he found someone to talk to about all of that because it stresses me out. But today it is actually a really nice sunny day outside, so we are going to get ready and head out. I wish I could wear my new sweater, but I can't. We are not going into the city center of Canberra, but we're going into Kingston, and we're going to get lunch by the lake. We're gonna walk along the lake and just have a nice time. I think we're gonna check out a yarn shop and some bookstores, and it's gonna be a lot of fun to just get out of the house. I've been feeling so cooped up because it's just gray and dreary day after day. It's so cold outside, but it's a really nice day and I'm really looking forward to getting out. So I will definitely try to grab some vlog clips, and I will catch you in the next bit.
Sorry about that, love.
Exit the roundabout onto Sturt Avenue, 0.5 kilometers.
I have finished my August sweater and I am so happy with it. This is the one remaining end that I didn't weave in that I totally thought I did. And it keeps sneaking out. I still need to weave it in, but it has been blocked and it literally took 3 days to dry because it is so cold here. But I am really happy with the fit of it. I'm so glad that I didn't do the neck too tight and I did the normal ribbing instead of twisted. I really love how oversized the sleeves are. Like when I stand up, they're kind of bagging, and the body is as well. It's a very comfortable, cozy fit. I'm in love with the cables and the cable raglan detail. This is honestly just the most beautiful sweater. I'm so proud that I made this and that it's finally done and I can wear it for the rest of winter. I feel like I'm never going to want to take it off my body except to shower because I do not want to have to go through that drying process again. I will say that with this being 100% wool, there is a bit of an itch factor, so I might wear t-shirts or undershirts, at least on my body underneath this, but it's not irritating me, at least not yet. But also, let's talk about my amazing weekend. I definitely grabbed a lot of vlog clips like I promised I would. We walked around and it was just a beautiful sunny day. It was exactly what we needed. It was just so good for my mind to get out of the house and be outside, breathing in fresh air, walking hand in hand with my husband, pushing our son in the stroller. We went to a park. He got to run around. It was so much fun. We went and had an amazing brunch by the lake, such amazing views. It is honestly so beautiful here, and I don't think we've gotten to appreciate it enough because we arrived here going into winter. We definitely explored a little bit during fall and enjoyed the autumnal colors, but I feel like we stopped exploring once it got really cold. And I've just really yearned to immerse ourselves in the city and immerse ourselves here in Australia, and I feel like we're really starting to do that, which brings me so much joy. And then after brunch, on our walk towards the bookstore and the yarn store, my son actually was ready for his nap time. He fell asleep in his stroller. So it was really nice that we got to actually look at books and shop the bookstore while he napped. From the paper chain bookstore, I grabbed Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This is a very different book than his usual high fantasy series, but it sounds so up my alley. It is about a girl on a rock in the sea who collects teacups of sailors and can read their stories. And if you know me, you know I love siren mythology, and this really gives that energy. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. And I know this is a knitting vlog, but I think a lot of you are also readers. So while we're on the subject of books, let's talk about my current read. I am currently reading Meet Me in Another Life by Catriona Silvey. And this book is nothing that I expected it to be, but also I'm really enjoying it. This book is about soulmates in parallel universes, and I didn't expect that. I was expecting past life romance, reincarnation romances. So it definitely threw me for a loop, but I definitely am enjoying their chemistry and their dynamic as well. I love when the soulmate trope can be used in both platonic and romantic relationships because I think that is so realistic to how our souls would reincarnate. We wouldn't be lovers in every life. Every life we would learn something from one another, but I think it adds a level of realism to it that can sometimes be questionable, but is also so impactful. And this book even says, this is not a love story. This is a story about love. I did not like the second act of this book. It is split into 4 parts, I think, and the second act just really turned everything on its head and not in a way I was expecting whatsoever, and it honestly really dragged. I put this book down for a bit. I am currently on page 248, so I'm almost done with it, but this book is a lot of things. I don't think it was anything I was expecting. I am enjoying it. I am going to finish it. I don't know what I'm going to rate it. So I'll have my Goodreads linked down below if you would like to find out once I finish it. Also this weekend, I finished the second sleeve of my book club cardigan. I'm going to be picking up stitches for the button band very soon. I am intimidated by that. I have watched so many videos, which is what I do anytime I am learning something new, a new technique in knitting. And I definitely can accomplish it, but it is definitely going to be one of the more challenging techniques I think I have tried. because I'm also going to be doing buttonholes along the way. So I'm really looking forward to learning that. And I tried on my cardigan once I bound off the second sleeve, and I just love the way it feels on me. I was expecting, since it's a worsted weight yarn I'm working with, I expected it to be really heavy, but it is so light and drapey, and I can't imagine what it's going to feel like once I block it. I think it's going to be very nice. This one loosened up a lot once I blocked it, and these cables really loosened up. So I just know it's going to be the same situation with the Book Club cardigan, and I cannot wait to just snuggle up in it. I can't believe how quickly I made both of these projects and that I'm really tying up the loose ends on both of them. These are my big projects right now at the moment, so I've got to get something new on the needles, which is really exciting. I did have to order more yarn today for this cardigan, which I had just told myself that I would not be buying any more yarn soon because I have bought a lot. I have purchased multiple sweater quantities lately to add to my stash here in Australia, but I did not get enough of my wool of the Andes for my Book Club cardigan. I was not going to be able to do both the button band and the pockets with the remaining yarn, and I know the pockets wouldn't be visible, but the top inch of it is, and I just do not have enough yarn to finish this cardigan. So my husband has been asking for a cardigan. I'll put the one he wants on the screen, but I decided to order him the Simply Wool in the color Winnie along with my order so that I could qualify for the free shipping. We're about to leave the house to go take our pictures for our Australia driver's license, which is really exciting. So I'll be wearing my sweater in it. I don't know if it'll even be visible, but I am so excited that I get to wear my own hand knit sweater to get my picture taken. I want to thank you so much for watching this week's cozy knitting vlog. If you enjoy it, make sure you tap subscribe and stick around for future cozy videos. Don't forget to do something that brings you comfort this week, and I will be wishing you a very cozy week.